afternoon. It's Nottingham taking on Aston Villa. This one I don't have a good read on right now. Obviously, Nottingham in their derby against Leicester, they couldn't do much of anything. They got killed 4-0, and the King Power Stadium was absolutely rocking. Nottingham just couldn't really grow much into that fixture. And then Villa, they didn't do much themselves, obviously, coming off this past weekend, picking up a draw there, 0-0 against Leeds. We kind of talked about that when we talked about Leeds earlier. So I don't know. I struggle with this one. I don't know if there's big goals, unders. I don't know, Matt. What about you?
This is such a brutal matchup to try to figure out and unpack, because you look at Villa. Villa to me are a clear-cut underside. They don't create a ton of good chances. Their back line is solid enough. Villa are the staple of an under team. And whenever I've watched them this season, it's boring. It's boring. It was boring against West Ham. It was boring. I can't remember who they played that we let's see. It was boring against Southampton right before the international break. Leeds last week, 0-0. Like, this team kind of sucks. Gerrard is really struggling, I think. But then on the flip side, then you've got the exact opposite of this Forest team that cannot keep the back door closed. Like, flip a coin on this total. Like, what way is this one going to go? Who's going to dictate the tempo here? Because look at how many goals Forest have conceded in their last dude. Well, their last 5. They've conceded 18 goals. 18 goals.
Let's be a little fair to them. 6 was against City. I feel like you should always just kind of throw that out.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's scrap the City one. They concede 2 to Spurs. I remember watching that match. It was actually a pretty competitive match. That was the last time that Forest looked good. And then but conceding 3 to Bournemouth, Jason, conceding 3 in 3 minutes to Fulham, and then conceding 4 last week on the road to Leicester. So, yeah, I've got some real problems. Steve Cooper, he is really close to maybe being the next one off in terms of the managerial sack race. Both these managers have got a lot to prove. Holy smokes. I'm so far away from this one, Jason. This is an in play. You could actually, though, I think you could really find a good angle in play if you watch this one. Like, you look at it, you see Forest, they're creating a couple chances, but their back line looks a little bit exposed in the first 10, 15 minutes. You say, look, maybe this one actually is an up and down kind of basketball-y match where there is goals, but nothing on a pre-match for me.